Have you ever woken up and felt hollow? Not tired, not broken, just numb. You stare at the ceiling, knowing exactly what needs to be done, yet you lie still. Minutes slip into hours, days into months. You whisper to yourself, tomorrow, but tomorrow never shows up. This silent war between who you are and who you could be is not new. It's the oldest struggle of all, the battle between comfort and discipline, ease and purpose. But what if this isn't about needing more motivation? What if the problem isn't outside you, but within? In this video, we won't chase fleeting inspiration. We'll explore a stoic way of living, anchored in clarity, action, and personal responsibility. If something inside you knows it's time to change, not someday, but now, then stay with me. What comes next might be exactly what you've been avoiding, and exactly what you need. Number 1. Start now. There's no perfect tomorrow. What exactly are you waiting for? A perfect day, the right moment, the stars to align, the doubt to vanish, the energy to surge through you like lightning. That day doesn't exist, and deep down, you know it. There's an illusion we all cling to, a comforting lie we whisper to ourselves. I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow is a thief. It steals your ambition and buries it under distractions, comfort, and hesitation. Tomorrow is the most dangerous word in your vocabulary because it makes your delay feel noble, like you're being strategic. But really, you're stalling. Let me tell you about a man named Samuel. He had dreams: start his own business, write a book, become someone he could finally be proud of. But for 10 years, he waited. Waited for the right time, the right energy, the right motivation. A decade passed, and nothing changed. His dreams, still dreams. His habits, still weak. The man he wanted to become never arrived, because Samuel never started. Don't be Samuel. You don't lack time, you lack discipline, and the truth is, you don't take action not because you're incapable, but because you don't want to feel uncomfortable, because the first steps are awkward, the results are slow, and the voice in your head says, not now, later, but later becomes never. Seneca once wrote, while we are postponing, life speeds by, and it does. The world moves forward whether you act or not. But here's what the Stoics understood. Readiness doesn't come before action. It comes through action. You don't wait until you're fearless to act. You act despite the fear, and that's how fear loses its grip. So what if you fail? Failure won't kill you, but procrastination will kill your potential. It'll bury your ambition under excuses. The fear of imperfection, of being bad at something, of being judged. That's what chains you. But remember this, no one is born ready. The sculptor isn't handed the statue. He carves it out, slowly, painfully, deliberately. There's a parable in the Bible. A servant, out of fear, buries the treasure entrusted to him. He does nothing, and when the master returns, it's not the failure that is punished, it's the inaction. What are you burying today? Your voice, your vision, your power. You say you want to change, then prove it. Open the laptop and write the first sentence. Put on your shoes and go outside. Make the phone call. Take the leap. Do the thing that terrifies you, not because you're fearless, but because you're done with delay. There is no perfect time. There is only now. So when tomorrow comes, will you say it again? I'll start tomorrow. Or will you rise and begin? That decision, it defines everything. Because the road to greatness, it's not paved with good intentions, it's paved with action. And that road begins the moment you stop waiting and start moving. Number 2, win the morning, win the day. Who are you when the alarm rings? Are you the kind of person who silences it, turns over, and drifts back into the comfort of sleep? Or are you the one who rises, without debate, without delay, and meets the day like a warrior stepping into battle? Those first seconds of your morning reveal everything. Willpower either takes command or crumbles, and in that moment you choose mastery or mediocrity. Time doesn't care about how tired you are. It doesn't wait for your motivation to catch up. You either take control or you get crushed beneath the weight of another wasted day. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, 'I have to go to work,' as a human being. You are not a child. You don't need permission. You have a duty to yourself, to your potential, to your one and only life." But most people wake up already defeated. They roll out of bed late, rush through their morning, and wonder why everything feels heavy. That's not a mystery. That's the result of giving your first breath of the day to hesitation. Imagine a warrior walking into battle with his armor half-fastened, his sword still sheathed, his mind scattered. What chance does he have? Now look at your own mornings. Do they prepare you for the life you say you want? Or do they sabotage you before the day even begins? Take Daniel, for example. A man full of ambition. He wants to be fit. He wants to build something meaningful. But every morning when the alarm sounds, he hits snooze. Once, twice, 3 times. By the time he finally rises, the battle is already lost. No time to think, no time to train, no time to lead. And yet, every night he whispers, "Tomorrow will be different." But it never is. Don't be Daniel. The first act of the day must be yours. No negotiations, no bargaining with weakness. Get up, move. Take one intentional action. Drink cold water, breathe deeply, do one push-up, open a book. Send a message to your body and mind. I lead today, not my excuses. And if you struggle to rise, remember this. Without a reason, you will always reach for the pillow. But with a reason, you'll reach for your strength. Ask yourself, what am I fighting for? Who do I want to become? Because in the end, you either wake up and step into your power, or you stay in bed and watch your life drift away. Now ask yourself, what will you do in the first 10 minutes of tomorrow morning? Write it down. Commit. And if you're ready to own your mornings, your life is next. Number 3, prioritize discipline over feelings. How many times have you whispered to yourself, "Tomorrow I'll be better. Tomorrow you'll wake up early. Tomorrow you'll work harder. Tomorrow you'll take control." But when tomorrow comes, nothing changes. You hit snooze. You scroll mindlessly. Another day wasted. Why? Because you're living like a slave to dopamine. Not happiness, not meaning, just raw, instant reward. Eat something sweet. Dopamine. Get a like on your post. Dopamine. Open your phone and scroll through endless noise. Dopamine again. Your brain doesn't care if it makes you stronger. It just wants what's easy. And that's the trap. You are chasing momentary pleasure instead of lasting purpose. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, your mind is learning one dangerous lesson. Avoid effort. Seek ease. And over time, this rewires you into someone soft, reactive, and powerless. Someone who waits to feel like it before taking action. But the Stoics had no patience for that. Marcus Aurelius said it plainly. We should discipline ourselves in small things, and from these, progress to things of greater value. Discipline is not a mood. It is a decision. It is the quiet strength to act, even when everything in you screams to wait. Tired? Do it anyway. Unmotivated? Especially then. Because if you only move when it's easy, you will never move when it matters. So how do you reclaim your power? First, kill the cheap dopamine. Turn off the noise. Leave your comfort cravings behind. Train your brain to desire what truly builds you: strength, skill, achievement, clarity. Second, make discipline your reflex. Show up every day, not because you feel like it, but because it's who you are. Set your own code and follow it, always. Third, lean into difficulty. That's where meaning lives. That's where the few are separated from the many. As the Bible warns, a man without self-control is like a city without walls. In other words, unprotected, defenseless. Don't wait to feel ready. You'll wait forever. Act now. Because once you master discipline, you'll unlock the truth the Stoics lived by. Freedom isn't the absence of rules. It's the power to govern yourself. Number 4. Your life is built on your daily habits. You've probably never thought much about it, but deep within your brain, the basal ganglia quietly runs the show. This is the part responsible for forming habits. Do something enough times, and it becomes automatic. You no longer think about brushing your teeth or tying your shoelaces. They happen without thought. That's the power of repetition. But here's the catch. That same force that helps you build useful routines can also imprison you in destructive ones. If your mornings begin with scrolling social media, you're not just wasting time. You're programming procrastination into your identity. Every time you justify skipping a workout or making excuses, you reinforce a mindset of weakness. Every time you say, "Tomorrow I'll start," and don't, you teach your mind that your words mean nothing. You may believe a single choice doesn't matter, but repeat it 100 times, and it doesn't just become a habit, it becomes your character. Success doesn't arrive in a single moment. Failure doesn't strike overnight. Your life, right now, is the sum of what you do consistently. So, if you want to change your destiny, start by changing your habits. There are 4 core disciplines that shape a Stoic life: mastering your thoughts, building unshakable discipline, maintaining focused attention, and taking relentless action. Master your thoughts. Stop being a slave to emotion, anger, fear, worry. These are distractions. Marcus Aurelius reminded us to focus only on what's within our control. Everything else is noise. Build discipline, because motivation is fleeting. Set an alarm and rise when it rings. Follow your schedule even when you don't feel like it. If you can't govern yourself, you will be governed by everything around you. Sharpen your focus, because distraction is the enemy of greatness. Most people spend hours lost in digital junk. Don't be one of them. Delete the noise, choose one goal, and pursue it with undivided intent. And above all, act. You can read all the books, watch all the videos, make all the plans, but without action, it's empty. No sign is coming. No magical moment awaits. You move now, or you don't move at all. If you've made it this far, you're not like most. You're ready. Now prove it, with action. Number 5. Greatness always requires sacrifice. Everyone wants greatness, but not everyone is ready to pay its price. You say you want to achieve something extraordinary, then ask yourself, what are you willing to give up for it? Because greatness never comes without sacrifice. It doesn't grow in the soil of comfort. It doesn't emerge from lazy mornings, convenient choices, or lives padded by pleasure. Greatness is born in discomfort, in the hours no one sees, in the decisions that cost you something. Do you want wealth? Then you must trade time, ease and distraction for long nights of discipline. Want a powerful body? Then say goodbye to junk food, late-night indulgences and empty routines. Want a sharp mind? Then silence the noise, cut the scrolling, stop the gossip, reject the trivial. You cannot expect an extraordinary life while clinging to ordinary habits. You cannot dream of becoming a warrior and refuse the pain of the battlefield. Greatness demands blood, sweat, silence, and the courage to let go. Think of Marcus Aurelius, not as an emperor, but as a man. He didn't become wise by bathing in luxury. He wrestled with his own emotions daily, sharpened his thoughts through solitude, and endured the burden of power with composure. Or Epictetus, a former slave. His body was broken, but his mind became unshakable. His suffering didn't destroy him. It forged him. So why do you believe your path should be easier? Let me tell you about a man named Daniel. He wanted to change, to become stronger, more focused, more accomplished. But every day he chose comfort. He stayed up late, ate without thought, and wasted hours convincing himself that tomorrow would be different. But tomorrow never came, because he never sacrificed for the future he claimed to want. Are you like Daniel? If you are, it's time to stop lying to yourself. You either sacrifice or you stay average. There is no third option. As Seneca said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." What you're afraid to give up may be the very thing holding you back. Look at your life. What must be cut, surrendered, stripped away? Don't just say you want it. Prove it. With action, with discipline, with sacrifice. Because comfort is not your friend. It's your quietest enemy. And you will never rise until you learn to let it go. Number 6. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Why aren't you where you want to be? Why do your dreams remain trapped in notebooks and late-night thoughts, never materializing into reality? It's not because you lack talent. It's not because life hasn't given you chances. The answer is far simpler and far more dangerous. You're too comfortable. Comfort is the slowest form of destruction. It disguises itself as rest, but in truth, it's decay. You say you want strength, but you avoid the pain that builds it. You say you want success, but dodge the discomfort that forges it. You say you want control over your life, yet every day you reach for ease. Imagine a man named Michael. He works a standard desk job, 8 hours a day. Comes home, collapses into his sofa, and scrolls or streams until sleep overtakes him. No challenge, no discipline, just repetition. Over time, his body weakens, his thoughts dull, his spirit shrinks, and he calls it aging. But it's not age, it's erosion. And it's happening to you too, if you keep choosing what's easy. Your mind is like your body. If it's never tested, it never strengthens. Neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to adapt, works both ways. Train it for passivity, and it will serve laziness. Feed it only comfort, and it will recoil from anything difficult. But if you challenge yourself, if you stretch beyond what's easy, your mind reshapes into something powerful, sharp, and capable of endurance. Think of a blade. Left unused, it rusts. Sharpened against stone, it becomes a weapon. Your mind, your body, your will, they are no different. You don't need to start with grand gestures. Just begin. Wake early, go to the gym, pick up a book instead of your phone. Choose the conversation that scares you. Face the decision you've been delaying. Each time you step into discomfort, you're not just getting stronger, you're rewriting the very structure of who you are. Epictetus said, "Difficulties show what men are." If you've never faced resistance, you've never truly met yourself. The Bible echoes the same. By your endurance, you will gain your life. So stop waiting, stop escaping. The hard path is the only one that leads somewhere worth going. If you're ready to break free, comment, "Comfort is a trap," then prove it with action. Because the life you want is waiting, but it won't wait forever. Number 7. Small wins. Every day, make the difference. How many times have you looked at your life and said, "This is it, I have to change"? And how many times did that change never come? You've made plans, promised yourself you'd become more disciplined, more focused, more fulfilled. But then, another day slips by. No progress, just frustration. And it's not because you're lazy, it's because you've been fed a lie. That change has to be dramatic. That you need some breakthrough, some emotional spark, some perfect moment to finally become the person you want to be. But Stoicism tells a different story. It reminds us that life is not transformed by the occasional fire, but by the steady flame, by the quiet, relentless force of daily action. There's a man named Adrian. For years he dreamed of a better life. He wanted to be stronger, sharper, more successful. But every time he thought about the work it would take, he felt overwhelmed. So he waited, until one day he tried a different path. No more grand goals, just one small act every day. 10 push-ups, 1 page of reading, 1 focused hour of work. A week passed, and the actions felt less like effort, more like rhythm. A month passed, and they became second nature. A year passed, and he no longer recognized the man in the mirror, not because of a single moment of change, but because of thousands of small victories stacked quietly on top of one another. You want to change your life? Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait to feel ready. Take one step, right now. This is the truth most ignore. The people who become extraordinary didn't leap there overnight. Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't build his body in a week. Marcus Aurelius didn't master his mind in a month. Edison didn't stumble into the light bulb with luck. They showed up every day through boredom, failure, fatigue, and doubt. So why haven't you? Because you overthink. You wait for motivation. You hesitate. And in that hesitation, you lose. Try this. The next time your mind resists action, count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then move. Don't let your brain negotiate. Don't give it time to talk you out of it. Just move. Send the email. Step outside. Do the work. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Stop debating. Start becoming." You're not stuck because life is against you. You're stuck because you haven't built momentum. But momentum doesn't begin with leaps. It begins with steps. A small win today, another tomorrow, and a year from now, you'll be unrecognizable. But if you don't start, a year from now you'll be right where you are, just with more regret. So don't wait. Don't watch the clouds and miss the harvest. Right now, count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Because greatness isn't built in a moment. It's built in this one. Number 8. You are the only one responsible for your life. Have you ever stood in front of the mirror and asked yourself, why is my life the way it is? Why are your dreams still just ideas floating in your mind? Why are you stuck in a job that drains you, in relationships that dull you, in a body you barely recognize? It's a hard truth, but one you need to hear. You created this life, not your parents, not the school system, not the government, not fate, just you. Maybe that stings. Maybe you'd rather believe the world was unfair, that others had better luck, that life just dealt you the wrong hand. But ask yourself, what does believing that give you? Comfort? Maybe. Control? Never. Blame changes nothing. Complaining builds nothing. Avoiding responsibility only guarantees one thing: you stay exactly where you are. But here's the good news. If you are the cause, then you are also the cure. Everything begins with your beliefs. What you think determines what you do. And what you do consistently shapes who you become. If you believe you're powerless, you'll act small. If you believe you can't change, you won't even try. But if you begin to believe that your actions hold weight, that you hold the pen to your own story, everything changes. There's a man named Daniel. He spent years telling himself that he was stuck, that life had left him behind, that he wasn't cut out for success. He hated his job, but never applied elsewhere. He wanted to be healthy, but never exercised. Every night he scrolled until midnight and called it unwinding. But one day he realized something simple and brutal. Nothing was changing because he wasn't changing. And that's the same realization waiting for you. You can keep living like a spectator in your own life, or you can take the reins. No one's coming to rescue you. No one will force you to wake up early, eat right, pursue better. That's your job. That's always been your job. Maybe others had a head start. So what? The finish line is still yours to chase. A decade from now, will you look back and regret everything you didn't do just because you refused to take ownership? Or will you say, that was the moment everything changed? The answer isn't out there. It's in what you do next, right now. Get up, get it done. No more waiting, no more excuses, just action. You've just walked through 8 Stoic truths, simple, powerful, and life-changing. But wisdom means nothing without action. You can stay where you are, or you can rise, right now. If this stirred something in you, take a moment, breathe, reflect, and type your next move in the comments. Start today, and if you're ready for more, subscribe. What's coming next will meet you where you are and push you where you need to go.